Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of Retail Media Network podcast by MMA. MMA is keen to help marketers to know more about Retail Media Network. How are they growing so fast? What are the best implementation strategies? And how do you measure effectiveness of Retail Media Network across the funnel? In today's episode, we are delighted to welcome Amita from Google as our guest. Amita is head of agency solutions for Google in Southeast Asia. Welcome, Amita.
Thank you so much, Anand, for having me. And of course, RMN is an important topic, and it's great to see MMA take the lead in this conversation. What I do at Google, I work very closely with the media agencies to ensure they understand our products, they understand consumer insights, and how do we basically build joint go-to-market strategies and solutions for the brands. Now, on the topic of obviously consumer insights, of course, we have a lot of rich consumer insights across so many Google products. And let me just quickly touch upon how quickly and swiftly the consumers actually today move across what we call 4S behaviors.
Mm.
That's streaming, scrolling, searching, and shopping. We've heavily leaned on Boston Consulting Group's recent framework called Influence Maps that can help marketers think differently about how people make purchase decisions and how marketers have new dynamic, multidimensional opportunities to connect with potential customers. In essence, the BCG framework implores the complexity of today's consumer journey that can be only managed by leveraging AI to gain clear real-time insights from influence maps and act on them with precise automated media execution. And this is where Google and YouTube play a unique role for retailers and brands with their unmatched reach, unparalleled trust, and unrivaled AI.
Got it. So, how do you help agencies and brands in achieving their commerce objectives?
We provide a comprehensive ecosystem for commerce across media and infrastructure. We have solutions that can help brands maximize every part of the consumer journey. We are partnering with the retail media networks, leveraging shopping products, including search, PMax, demand gen, YouTube, to have access to a lot of feeds and data to drive consideration and purchase loyalty. And by the way, there's actually an opportunity for marketers to even think beyond RMNs. Driving awareness and loyalty is just as important. So our video, CTV, and display solutions help brands do just that. We have omni-commerce solutions to help brands drive high consideration for products, no matter how the shopper chooses to shop. All of this is empowered with robust measurement within our platforms, from conversion to ROAS, conversion value, LTV, average order value, new customer acquisition, performance by product or SKU, store visits, in fact, and much more. We're shipping new products, features, and integrations with third-party, obviously, providers to ensure we are enabling the brands and agencies to hit their commerce objectives.
Great. So, how do you work with retailers to build great solutions for brands and scale the success?
That's a great question because, RMN has been established over the years as a critical sales channel. Arguably, retail, media, and network are both individually and collectively evolving very quickly. So I'll say most of us, including the brands, agencies, retailers, data providers, and partners like yourself from industry, we're all trying to make sure that this evolving ecosystem is obviously making sense for the right outcomes. At Google, our core vision is to empower both brands and retailers to succeed in the retail media. We do this by offering solutions that are either retail-led or brand-led, all powered by a combination of retail data and, critically, Google AI. The goal is simple: drive revenue, find new users, and provide measurement. For instance, our commerce media network infrastructure, we call it CMN, provides a scale setup for brands to drive sales directly on major marketplace partners across APAC, like Shopee, Lazada, Rakuten, Flipkart, and there's a longer list.
Mm.
These are then fueled by our AI-powered campaigns, which scale based on real-time user intent. Our intent is to help retailers truly monetize the first-party data and drive incremental sales, and our technology acts as a customized building blocks for them. Another thing I would like to mention here is that, historically, retail media have been managed services primarily, with retailers carrying the weight of setting up campaigns, pulling reports, and more. With our solution, a retail can integrate various Google components like Google Ads, SA360, DV360, Campaign Manager. Of course, they're all at different stages of experimentation at the moment, and then managing this with their own proprietary or third-party technology. This gives them the control and the flexibility they need to build those custom solutions that
Mm.
fit their unique market and data strategy. So think of it as retailers can now deliver performance for the brands by combining their unique audiences and Google AI at scale
Mm.
for these brands.
Excellent. First party database is extremely important for retailers because they can target customers efficiently and effectively. How do you support them to integrate that data safely within your ecosystem? When brands invest on retail media network, they're obviously keen to know how their investments are working and what's working, what's not working, or at what stage are the drop-offs occurring. So they're keen to know and measure it. What measurement solutions do you offer to measure impact of campaign with retailers beyond sales?
Our ambition is to help brands and retailers truly understand the holistic impact of their retail slash commerce budgets, if you will. And that's exactly what every marketer, every brand is obviously trying to get to. Now, back to the RMN proposition. The real superpower of RMN is to offer closed loop measurement on site. At Google, our goal is to move beyond simple last click data
Mm.
to truly attribute every dollar spent to a tangible business outcome. We currently provide click-through, engage view, and view-through conversions in our own platform, where there is a high degree of attribution of overall dollars. Because a critical part of this is also to establish what is the unified measurement framework. What are the common metrics that link business priorities to every dollar that's spent across the funnel? Another element of measurement here is MMMs. A lot of brands are still using MMMs to see the holistic view of their ad spends. We can support them with Meridian, which is our own product. Beyond that, we also provide more agile incrementality or experimentation frameworks to measure outcomes. So if I have to summarize, the ideal world, which is every dollar gets attached to a sale, requires some level of unified measurement framework across the industry. And we're happy to work and collaborate with industry bodies, other platforms, retailers, brands to actually come to that. In the meantime, we have engage view through conversions on our platform that will allow advertisers to see how their campaigns are performing with the retailers, as well as we do incrementality and experimentation setups.
What marketers love about retailers is the ability to target people according to purchases or according to their loyalty data. And they like Google and YouTube because it gives you huge reach across the globe. So, how can they link in store sales or retailer loyalty data with campaigns running on your platform?
That's again back to how do you get more precise? How do you get, how do you even get to increasing your basket size with the repeat customers? There's so much wealth that can actually be, deduced from the actual in-store or loyalty data. We do have solutions, we call them Google's first-party store sales as a way to link. But of course, there has to be a data sharing with the actual retailer, whether it's a brick or mortar or online, or even third-party providers can be used. Now, then there are also certain types of CDPs, like customer data platforms, that can use a partner API to actually ingest the data. Retailers can also use Google Cloud to manage omni-channel customer data and create personalized loyalty campaigns. I mean, the ability is the foundation to Google online to offline solutions. It's a very crucial element, especially in APAC, where offline retail is still very huge. Now,
Mm.
advertisers, especially major retailers, are heavily invested in closing the loop between their digital ad and the real world transactions. So all the solutions that I mentioned are available at different stages, different eligibility criteria, as well as different sophistication. So again, I implore brands to keep come on the table, ask what exactly they're looking for, and work with us to make sure that we are testing these things with them. We're able to scale them.
Great. When marketers invest on retail media network, one of the concerns that they have with some of the large platforms is that they only know information about how many people were exposed to the ad, responded, and then final conversion. There is nothing in between. And they're keen to know at what stages a drop-offs are occurring so that they can have remarketing scheduled based on my actions. So how do you ensure transparency in reporting for both brands and the retail partners?
That's a very interesting question. Let me give you a short answer to that, and then I'll come to the longer answer. The short answer is once a customer leaves our platform, obviously it's harder for us to track the journey. Of course, a lot of onus is on the retailer to provide that transparency. From every conversation that I have had with brand, at the moment, they don't necessarily are at the stage of comfort where they would like to be. So the role that we are playing in that particular space is number one, making sure that the brands have self-serve options on our platforms. So the CMN campaign type that I was talking about, that sort of solves to some degree the transparency. So you at least get a little more details on detailed actionable insights. However, it still doesn't solve for the problem of the user journey that happens at the retailer, in which case we are obviously constantly working on a partnership with the retailer so that we can continue to actually increase that level of transparency. Another important thing when we're working with retailers is to manage this transparency with the need to protect sensitive information. Retailers' valuable first-party data is obviously the main and the crux of this conversation. So we do also invest in providing clean room technologies to share high-intent audiences without exposing the user-level data. So again, there is a conversation and a partnership that's necessary with the retailers, but at the same time, we are also trying to invest heavily on self-serve options so brands can enjoy some level of transparency.
What support do you offer to brands and retailers so that the retail media strategies work better in future?
I will talk about something we didn't get to touch till now. And if I'm allowed to quote Lex, who was your last guest, the key challenge in retail media right now and the ability to scale it is often organizational silos, where trade, shopper, brand, and media budgets operate separately. Our primary support there is to actually help them unify and come together, basically, is what the role we can play. And I'm assuming some of the good work that MMA is doing, it will also, provoke and send some messages to some of these organizations to break down these silos. So the way we work with agencies as well as brands is think of it as a joint annual planning session. How do we integrate those different teams within the brands and try to come to a holistic business metric that can actually, link across the different silos within an organization? What are those KPIs? What are those metrics that actually speak to or resonate to every part of the organization? We also offer a lot of consultation and expertise to develop organizational roadmaps, because I know this is not going to be like overnight. People are not going to restructure how their, organizations are built. But how exactly do they look at various profitability elements, how disparate they are across these units. We can also offer some consultation and expertise on that. So I would say strides are being made in this direction, and then we are very committed to actually support the brands to take this journey.
Great. Last question. What role agencies play in activating and managing retail media network campaigns on your platform?
The greatest value a holding company provides is stitching together the fragmented RMN landscape. Most of these networks are walled gardens, and brands cannot see effectively that across 10 to 20 disparate data sets, disparate reportings, including their own first party data, what exactly is actually happening. So agencies leverage their massive identity assets, which are relatively deduped, such as you must have heard about Publicis Epsilon or Lotame or WPP's Choreograph or open platforms, to normalize, deduplicate, and connect data from including our platform with external signals and the client's first party data as well. Now, this integration is what they obviously use to execute true incrementality testing and ensure it's efficient media for the clients. And also, it allows them to actually fulfill, to some degree, the dream of every marketer, the full funnel impacts of their brand dollars. Expanding on the full funnel strategy. Now, once you have this complex data, how do you translate it into full funnel strategy? You can actually see how WPP has worked with us on our commerce media network solutions recently to actually develop, or I would say co-develop, the commerce practice for our mutual clients. Our joint goal is to strive toward a seamless retail solution that gives performance across the entire funnel, across platforms and across retailers. This brings a strategic layer that connects the platform's capability that we have and the client's ultimate business objective across the funnel. I can actually quote you an example. L'Oreal, as you know, they are early adopter of every possible tech that's available. I love that brand. WPP worked with L'Oreal and used one of our recent solutions. It's called Demand Gen, and delivered 3 times ROAS with using the YouTube shopping affiliates. So again, that affiliate content, it's organic, it's helping consideration, it's helping to some degree branding. You can actually leverage that with Demand Gen to drive actual sales. So that's a great example of full funnel strategy that WPP, Google, L'Oreal were actually able to test out. Finally, the activation and efficiency piece. Google's AI gives brands and agencies the ability to automate real-time optimizations, ensure performance maximization on our platform without excessive manual oversight. Agencies transform our platform from a tactical ad buy into a sophisticated, measurable commerce engine for their clients.
I'm just going to ask you one last question, which is, any other thoughts?
No, Anand, I think I spoke a lot, actually. It's a very passionate topic for me. I love retail, even as a consumer, how various options are available from different places. I love getting targeted by, my choices of ads. But I'd just like to implore, again, to the ecosystem, to the industry, there is a lot of magic that's available. I represent Google today. There's so much AI that we've ingested in so many tools. How do we get those testers, whether they're brands or the agencies or the retailers, how do we get those testers, early testers, and make sure that we can actually continue to make this impact in the industry?
Great. Wonderful speaking to you, Amita. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your insights. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Anand.